So for week 2, we are going to get into creating some pretty basic web pages. Um, we're going to go through basic HTML5 uh, tags. Tags are also called elements. And so you're going to go through the web readings first, then you're going to go through the lecture, and then you can work through the textbook assignment and then complete the lab assignment. Once you're done with those, then there is a discussion forum on award-winning websites. And I always like students to do that discussion at the beginning because that kind of gives you an idea of the different kinds of websites that you create using HTML5 and CSS. So taking a look here, the web-based readings, now you're probably going to look and think, oh my goodness, there's a ton of them. They're very short. Okay, so let me pick one. And they're very specific. So this one is just on this particular element. Okay, so all of these have try it yourself. So you can go out and kind of play around with the code. And then they define how the element is used. Okay, and that's it. It's super, super short. Okay, so yeah, there are a lot of links, but it's not going to take you a long time to read through this. Okay, and so then our lecture kind of pulls all of that information together and presents it kind of in one big piece. Okay, so this is basically all of the elements and tags that we're going to talk about. And then you can start reading through this. And as you read through, you will see links out to interactive pages that let you practice. And this is actually interactive. So as you scroll through here, there's a ton of examples, and then you can go out to these W3 school pages and you can play with this. So we can actually delete some of these. And this is just giving you practice with heading tags. Okay, so the difference between a heading 1 and a heading 6. But then you can change it to whatever you want and run it. You know, if you mess up, you just reload the page. Okay, so I encourage you guys to click on the links and play around with it because that is how you learn. The more you work with it, the more you remember and understand it. Okay, so this is all about semantic HTML tags. Okay, and once you're done with that, then you're going to do the textbook assignment. Now, the textbook assignment is more directive, and there are video links. Whoop, that's the Dropbox. There are video links that explain everything. And the first task is always going to be to set up your structure, which is your folders. And things on the internet are organized similar to the way your hard drive is organized. So back to our web server, you'll notice I have all of my courses out here. Okay, and this is our 180 course. And you can see I've got everything organized into lesson folders. And you're going to be doing something similar for your assignments. Okay, you are going to be organizing into lesson folders. Okay, and so that very, very first task has you create a CIT180 folder, and then inside that folder, a lesson 2 folder. Okay, and this video shows you how to do that. Okay, and then you're going to complete each task and create several different pages. Okay, and videos are very helpful, so make sure you watch them because they will actually walk you through how to do this. Okay, so my recommendation with the video, because they're all YouTube videos, is if you have a mobile device, you can actually play the video on your mobile device and you can complete the task on your computer at the same time. Okay, so I think that is the easiest way to get this done. And then when you reach the bottom, okay, you will be transferring files to the web. I will be creating web accounts probably on Labor Day. Um, so once I get those accounts created, you will receive an email with FTP information, and I will post an announcement to the class. Right? So you aren't going to be able to transfer until I get your account created. And I usually wait until like the end of the first week so that students have all added and dropped, and I know who's exactly in the class. And once you finish the textbook assignment, then you're going to complete the lab assignment. And for the lab assignment, you are going to be creating a page that that will eventually link to all of your assignment exercises. And I'm going to pause this and pull it up so that you can kind of see how it's going to work. So this is just a little example of what the assignment page will eventually look like. To start, you're just going to have the text in here. Okay, but in upcoming weeks, in fact, next week, you'll learn how to add links and images. And then the following week, you're going to learn how to use CSS. So, after lesson 4, yours could look just like this or similar. And the idea here is that I pull up your assignment page and it links out to all of your exercises. Okay? And then you've got all of the textbook assignments, and then below that, you have all of your lab assignments. Okay? So the first lab assignment is basically setting up that page. Okay? And then once you have the page completed, you will transfer it to the web. Now, it is recommended that you validate pages. So I do have a link to the validator here. However, the validator doesn't like nested tags, and it will mark them as wrong when they are fine. So the reason I'm going to have you guys use it is so you can catch typos. Okay, so if you make a typo in a tag, that's not always easy to catch, and the validator will catch that. So that's kind of why we're using it. So take the results with a grain of salt because sometimes it will say a tag is wrong when it's not. Okay? So if you've got any questions about whether your code is valid or not, send me an email and I'll go out to the web and take a look at it. And once again, transferring files, you can't do that until you have accounts. And this video then becomes kind of important because it shows you how to use FileZilla. And FileZilla is not a hard program to use. It's a drag and drop. So you can just take things from your computer on the left and drag them over to the internet server on the right. Okay? But definitely watch that video because it will help you. Now, once you have completed the textbook and the lab assignment, you're going to come into the drop boxes and you are going to submit done. Okay, so you're going to enter text and you're going to submit done. Okay, that way I know it's ready for correcting. Okay, and you'll do that same thing for the lab assignment. Now, what happens if something didn't work right? Then you need to contact me. Do not submit done unless your assignment is correct. Okay? If there's a problem, put it on the web and email me, and I will go look at it. And then we can get it fixed before you come in here and submit done. Okay? When you submit done, I'm assuming it's completed. And as far as you know, it's done correctly. Okay, so anytime you have a problem, make sure that you reach out for help. They don't just throw it into the Dropbox and throw up your arms. Okay, reach out and we can get it taken care of. Okay, so that is what we are going to be working on for lesson 2. If you have any questions about the assignments, run into problems, please ask. Okay, and then once you finish those assignments, you're going to complete the discussion. And so all you're going to do is Google award-winning HTML5 sites. And sometimes you do have to kind of click down a couple levels to actually see the website itself. Let's see if this one even has one. Nope. Let's see. Okay, so this has got a couple. Let me click on this one. Here's view site, and you should also be able to click on, well, quite often you can click on the thumbnail, but I'm going to click on that. Okay, so this takes me right out to the site. Okay, so if that one doesn't, if you don't like that one, you can click on a different one. I think this actually has quite a few examples. Designed by Digital Silk. Let's see if we can get out to find it. Well, that's interesting. Okay, Digital Silk. So we've got their branding here. Interesting. Okay, so they have the web addresses here, so you should be able to see any of theirs. Okay, it's just a matter of finding these pages, and then what you're going to do is tell me what you like about them. Okay, and if there's anything you don't like, maybe what you would change. This is actually a super cool one. Well, I really like that. Okay, so once you find a site you like, what you're going to do, let's see, is you're going to click on the address, right click and copy, come in here, hit reply, And you're going to do an external link, and you can just paste into the text and the link, hit done. Okay. And then below that, explain what you like about the site and anything that you don't like. Okay. And then reply. And then you'll look at your classmates' posts and reply to 2 of them. Okay, so that is the last thing that you need to complete this week. If you run into problems or have questions, please let me know.